I'm Winston Chow. I am the co-chair for the IPCC's Working Group 2, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change that looks into climate impacts, adaptation, vulnerability. And I'm also a professor of urban climate at Singapore Management University. And it's good to be here.
Winston, thank you so much for giving Break and Travel News some time here at the Smart Cities event at Dubai Expo City. You've just come off a panel.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about kind of what you were talking.
We were talking about a green print for a good climate future, but also one that speaks to the importance of smart cities, the importance of big data, AI-related information. So it's a very nice mix and a very nice confluence of two important topics. Climate disruption, which is something that I focus on, but also how we respond to it in the digital realm, the digital transformation aspects that many cities, Dubai, Singapore, regardless of where you're at, we are facing right now. And it's oftentimes good to see what potential synergies exist. And in that panel that we just had, a very good discussion was, we had a very good discussion, cheeky discussion as well, on what can be done to try and look into the synergies, look into what can benefit overall sustainability in the context of Expo City and Dubai as a hopefully an exemplar or a leader in this part of the world.
Well, and of course, Singapore is I would say, the original smart city.
You're too kind.
And
yes.
so let's talk more about the specifics of those synergies. You know, what can Singapore learn from this region? What can this region learn from Singapore and other places around the world?
There are some interesting complementary, not complementary. There's some similarities, I would say. During the panel, Her Excellency was saying that is there a trap of sorts, or is there a thinking or a myth? I think that was a word. That in order for a city to be sustainable, to be at the forefront of AI or be a smart city, you need to have this, you need to have money. And I think it was clear from what we discussed that it's important, but it's not the only thing. What was very important to me anyway is that we need to trade with information. We need to learn the best practices for climate action, for applying the digital transformation aspects that we are facing right now, and use that as currency for sharing, for helping to seed future investments for startups and financial institutions, and to make sure that you invest that into the youths of today, the future leaders of tomorrow, and that's how you can have a green print for a city like Dubai, Expo City or Singapore, to take the lead in this very critical 5-year or decade until 2050, a very critical period where urbanization, urban action will be at the forefront for a lot of things.
And you talked originally in this conversation about climate. So tell us about how that's being factored into smart city planning.
Well, when you have the very dynamic urbanization processes with all the important aspects of digital transformation happening, you can't omit that we are living in a very warmer world. We're on a course for a trajectory of about a 2.7, maybe 3 degrees C warming world. Not good news, especially after what Paris, we're trying for 1.5 or 2 degrees C world. And to be elephants, not elephants, wrong analogy, to be ostriches and put our heads in the sand and ignore that is counterproductive. A sustainable city, a smart city, will have to account for climate disruption, will have to account for how we need to adapt to reduce climate risk from affecting our way of life, from making cities unlivable. Talking about a 56 degrees C world in the future. If you have a city in there, nobody wants to live in there. But don't forget, cities also are actors. 70% of emissions come from city activity, from footprints in urban areas. There is a big lever people, stakeholders in cities can do to reduce emissions. AI, IoT, big data, all the people who are now going to be digital natives can use that as a critical enabler to make sure that we can reduce exposure, we can reduce the risk from a 3 degrees C world. I can't believe I'm saying that. Let's hope that that's not the case. Let's hope that the actions that the discussions we're having in this room, as well as beyond, can help to make sure that we avert that 3 degrees C world and bring it down to 1.5 degrees C world.
Winston, thank you for your time today.
My pleasure. Yes, thank you very much.